there are several things we still do not know this week. We do not know when Iowa Republican leaders in the House and Senate will finally agree on how much to fund our public schools for next year. By law, they should have figured this out about 6 weeks ago. We also do not know whether this new property tax reform proposal we expect to learn more about at the State House this coming week will lead to a final agreement before lawmakers go home for the year. And there is a lot we do not know about President Donald Trump's new global trade war that he just ignited. What will it mean for the prices we pay? What will it mean for our 401k accounts? What will it mean for the job market? What will it mean about the increased chance for recession? A lot of uncertainties. The one certainty this week, we now know that there are at least 3 Iowa Democrats looking at running for the United States Senate. Hi, I'm Dave Price. One of those Democrats is J.D. Scholten of Sioux City. He burst onto the political scene nationally in 2018.
I want to remind people
when he took on longtime conservative Congressman Steve King. Now, if you look at the numbers, this one should have been a blowout, but in the end, Scholten made King sweat and narrowly lost that race. Eventually, Scholten got elected to the state legislature, but now he's thinking about running for the U.S. Senate instead next year.
I think it's about timing, and it's. I know a lot of people publicly talk about, oh, you should do this, you should do that, but there's a whole personal side of it too that is all part of it. And so right now, I think there's a lot of pieces, and I'm just trying to figure out the puzzle.
So help people gauge your interest. How interested are you?
Well, one of the big things is I'm very much part of the anti-monopoly movement that I feel is creating more and more excitement around, especially here in the Midwest. And so I think there's a tremendous opportunity. And so when politics is about timing, you got to jump on it. And, the opportunity just doesn't always come at a convenient time. I found that out about baseball last summer. And so we'll just kind of see it. It's something that I'm very passionate about politics. I'm very passionate about what I do. And if there's an opportunity to run for U.S. Senate and it works out with, that's great. But I'm also not one of those people that have always had a career projection. I got into the 2018 congressional race because I really just did not like Steve King. And I thought we needed a difference in the 4th. And we were able to do a grassroots campaign that got national attention, and we ended up moving the needle 24 points from a district that Trump won by 27. We lost just by 3. And so you add that with my next run that we outperformed the top of the ticket by 5%, one of the few non-incumbents to do that across the nation. I have experience at the federal level outperforming the top of the ticket. So I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are urging me on to do this.
You have a couple of other legislative colleagues who are also looking at that. Does that make this awkward?
No, I'm really good friends with Josh Turek out in Council Bluffs. We like to joke that we are the Western Iowa caucus of the Democratic Party when it comes to folks at the Capitol, because it's just the 2 of us. I have a ton of respect for what he's been able to do. If I decide not to run and he runs, I think it would be great. And then you got Senator Walz. I don't talk to the senators as much as I do my colleagues in the House. And so, but like Zach would be a great candidate too. So it's not so much about like a lack of anything else. It's more of like, is this the right time, the right fit for me? And so I think that's the huge thing for myself.
You mentioned that a big part of your congressional run was the incumbent congressman at the time, Steve King. Does Joni Ernst inspire that same with you, or is this more issue driven?
Well, I would say that was a jumping start to just get me into politics in general. And so now that I'm in it, like I'm extremely passionate about getting an economy that works for everybody. It is so clear, especially in this Trump administration, that it works for the billionaires. And we're seeing an oligarchy becoming more and more of a mainstream term. And this is something that we've been saying in the anti-monopoly movement for years, is that there's just a handful of either powerful people or corporations that dictate a lot of what's happening in this country. And we should get back to a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And so that's why I'm still interested in this and moving that movement along.
Senator Walz had told me that his personal timeline was the end of the legislative session, whether that's, this month or next month. Do you have a timeline in mind?
Well, it gets a little complicated because of potentially playing professional baseball one last summer. I loosely in my head, I would say our All-Star break, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm going to play, if I make the team or not. And then you also have the other side of I don't want to take, if I do play, my goal is to win a championship with the Sioux City Explorers. That would be a huge achievement, not only for myself, but for the city of Sioux City. We've never done it. We have a good core coming back, and I would not want to do anything to distract from the team and our mission there. So, like I said, a lot of moving parts, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Scholten mentioned during our conversation a couple of possible Democratic competitors, Josh Turek, the House member from Council Bluffs, and Zach Walz, the Senate member from Coralville. Of course, Republican Senator Joni Ernst has already said she plans to seek a third term in office next year. So we are getting an early look at the possibilities for 2026. And as we know, voters will have a lot to think about between now and then. That is Inside Iowa Politics for this week.